Hey everyone, welcome to another video. So in today's video, we are covering a hero called the Swift Speedster. And I believe I actually adjusted his name a little bit due to just kind of a refinement of his backstory and stuff. But this hero, I remember doing this doodle and getting some heavy inspiration off of an old commercial that I remember seeing as a kid. When I say a kid, and I was probably in middle school, or I would have been in late, 8th or ninth grade, and I remember seeing this commercial while watching, Saturday morning cartoons. But it was a commercial, I think it was a Capri Sun commercial, as I remember. And it was a really cool commercial, and I don't really remember a lot of the specifics behind the commercial, but it was really cool because they had this dude that was made out of, liquid chrome in essence, and he would zip around, the neighborhood, blessing kids with Capri Sun packets or something like that. I don't remember the specifics of the ad, but what I do remember is just kind of this design idea of like this silvery liquid guy zipping around. And as a kid, really enjoying the comic book hero, the Silver Surfer by Marvel Comics, I was just like, well, that looks a lot like the Silver Surfer. But unlike the Silver Surfer, the thing in the commercial was almost like a liquid metal, almost like the bad guy off Terminator 2. And so, that's where I got a lot of the inspiration. So as you can see in this original doodle, like his head kind of goes into a teardrop kind of shape, as well as like his shoulders and stuff like that. Because I really wanted to kind of drive home this liquid speed, aerodynamic kind of feel. And so, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump into his redesign here. So let's... once again, I didn't really want to adjust his design much. I really felt that he had a good design, and it was more or less just kind of refining the drawing from a quick 2 to 3 minute sketch to, something with a little more time behind it. So, but rough ends didn't take very much time, and I think really the only thing I added was kind of like some elbow, and because he still has a shoulder in his head and stuff like that. So still wanted to make him look like chrome or liquid metal kind of a feeling. So added, that in as well. But again, not a whole lot changed with this hero. And to be honest, like when I was originally drawing this guy, not a whole lot of backstory. Sometimes with a lot of these characters I draw, there's a little bit of a backstory, because a little bit of the backstory does influence, how their costumes look or something like that. But with this guy, there just wasn't much. It was just I really remembered that commercial from years and years ago, and thought it would be cool to do a hero like that. So that is what I did. So, but let's go ahead and take a peek here at his final illustration here. So that's what he looked like. And, once again, not a whole lot different from the original conception, 10 years ago. So, but let's go ahead and get into his powers and abilities, as well as his backstory. So I changed his name from the Swift Speedster to the Space Speedster. So the Titan database has virtually no information on this mysterious being. Even after consulting with numerous galactic guardians, many have stated that although they have fought alongside him or have been saved by him, they know nothing about who he truly is. Even the ancient guardian, the original galactic guardian, knows nothing of this hero. So this kind of plays a little bit into, a lot of times when I draw these heroes, sometimes I do have some ideas or rough concepts of their backstory. But with this guy, it was like he was just 100% based off of the the commercial that I remember watching as a kid, and really that was it. So with him, and even as I was thinking, I was just like, I couldn't think of really any interesting backstories or anything. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it pretty much vague. So real name, don't know. His height, based off what some people have witnessed, he's almost 7 feet. And weight, nobody has any idea. So fortunately, a lot of people know his powers and abilities to some degree, and this is just based off witnessing his fighting styles and stuff from the heroes who have fought alongside with him. So, as previously mentioned, nothing has been recorded about the origins or backstory of this hero, but many have witnessed his powers and abilities. While fighting on a planet 68 light years from Earth, the hydrogen hero faced 13,000 Devoidian creatures while defending the final remnants of the planet's inhabitants. Hopelessly outmatched, and with no reinforcements on the way, the hydrogen hero prepared for the worst. But in the blink of an eye, every enemy was dead. On another world, the Golden Guardian witnessed 3 tectonic titans crumble into rubble before his eyes in an instant, and finally one of the Stim Pack heroes, Speed, himself. Sorry about that. And finally, one of the Stim Pack heroes, Speed, that's the hero's name, himself a seasoned speedster, managed to catch only a brief glimpse of this mysterious savior. He described him as a chrome-silvered humanoid moving at speeds at least 1,000 times faster than himself. So, once again, out of all the heroes, most of these heroes are just kind of witnessing, in essence, the aftermath of him. We've got the hydrogen hero that was getting ready to die at the hands of 13,000 Devoidians, creatures, and then all of a sudden they're destroyed. And same with the Golden Guardian, witnessed 3 tectonic titans crumble in an instant, and it finally, one of these fellow speedsters in the comic book universe I've created, this guy who just calls himself Speed, witnessed it only because he was able to move at a relatively faster pace than any other heroes, was able to just catch a glimpse of this guy. So, but looking at power stats, his strength is okay. His durability is a little on the higher, as well as his stamina. He doesn't have anything in the regards of power projection or, really intelligence. He's average intelligence, but as you can see, his speed is exceptionally high. So, but yeah, once again, that's the Space Speedster. Not a lot about him in that regard. And yeah, I kind of feel confident with just leaving it at that. A lot of times some of the coolest heroes very little about, like Wolverine, or at least I should say Wolverine 20 years ago. Now there's all this stuff, backstory stuff, but a lot of people really thought Wolverine was cool because he had this mysterious backstory and that nobody knew about. So, but anyhow, we'll catch you in the next video.